that we would be fooled to think that this woman committed suicide in prison, in her jail cell, and all of the evidence points to the exact opposite, that she was murdered in police custody because she spoke out and because she was, number one, black and had the nerve to know some of her rights and to not kiss the police officers' boots, so to speak. And so if you investigate any part of this, I'm gonna let Info Keith kind of talk about some of the details, because he's been doing an excellent job and just putting out, just showing the evidence that they've been putting forth, and then the common sense that anybody could come to the conclusion of. So this is very relevant to, and then we're gonna pull it back to why this is relevant to the state of emergency.
Yeah, so basically what started it was people was posting on Facebook and Twitter and that kind of stuff on social networks that you could see up Sandra Bland's nose. And, you know, that actually, it kind of made sense, because if you take a frontal shot, you would not be able to see up someone's nose. And so, you know, it was a lot of pictures going around. So I just kind of looked at other mug shots, and it's like, that's right, you can't see up people's nose. That was one. And two, we have yet to see a side angle. I mean, anytime you go, you know, even in the movies, they hold up the thing, they take a front shot, and they take a side shot. Where's her side shot? And then, right, where's the booking numbers? Another thing is the background. If you look up the other mug shots at the same exact jail that she was at, you could see a brick wall, whereas hers is just one solid piece, which looks like a floor. Another thing, if you look up videos, it's people who...
Back up. So what do you got to tell them what you're saying? It looks like a floor.
Oh, well, yeah, that was the thing. A lot of people said that she was already dead before they took the pictures, one, and two, she was laying down. So that's like two signs that point to, you know, she was already deceased before they even took the mugshot picture. So basically, they killed her first, and then they took her, you know, to the jail or whatever.
This is after they assaulted her, threatened to light her up.
Yep.
For nothing, honestly, and slammed her into the ground, slammed her into the pavement, and all of these things are going on. So this unnecessary violence is happening, and then people are recording. And so she's at this point, she's like basically saying that, letting them know that y'all messed up, because people are recording, the dash cam is recording, and I'm surprised that they actually released that before it got too corrupted, which is another thing.
Yeah, they said they altered the dash cam video.
They tried to alter. I mean, if you watch we posted it on our individual pages and our YouTube.
We got the dash cam footage too.
And so you can see on the dash cam that there was a car that went past, and then it skipped, like it froze, and then the car went past again. And they were like, the official report was like, it's not clear right now whether the tape has been tampered with. And I was like, it's just an insult. It's an insult to the intelligence of anybody that's looking at this case, to say things like that. And it's just like, to me, it's like, I mean, to me, this is business as usual for these police officers that are really just, some of them are just really just, I don't want to say stupid, but just I guess he's just out of touch with technology. They're used to getting away with this kind of thing.
Arrogant.
You know, really, really arrogant. And yeah. So go ahead, continue, Info Keith, with the.
Yeah. So where we left off was that it was just a solid background, whereas everybody else has bricks behind behind the picture. And then another thing is her shoulders. So normally, when you stand up straight, you have a natural slant in your shoulders, whereas her shoulders were just straight across, like almost 180 degrees. And then compared two pictures. One picture where it was her next to somebody lying down, and you could see the natural straight line in the shoulders of the two people laying down. And then underneath was all of the other people's mug shots, and you can see the natural slant in the shoulders. So, that was just a lot of evidence that points to that she may have already been dead, or that she was lying down as they took that shot. And then I did see one pic. It's so much stuff. We posted. I also posted a picture of her as she got out of the car, a picture from the dash cam video, and it shows like a slender frame, and then the picture from the jail where, it's supposed to be an overhead, super blurry, like 1980s camera that they must have, but it's like, she has the orange jumpsuit on, but, she looks at least 50 pounds heavier.
And shorter.
Right, shorter. Her hair looks like an afro and not dreadlocks. Like, it's no individual pieces whatsoever. It's just like one piece. So it's just so many inconsistencies with the whole entire situation, and my fear is that nobody will be held accountable for it, because it's like, they could tell you anything, and how can you say it's not true? We can prove that it's not true, but at the end of the day, like, who can be held accountable for it if they say she hung herself? And then they have the crooked, which is another thing I had posted, was the person who did the autopsy. Her husband is a district attorney, so it's like, they all kind of playing the same game. So it's just so many inconsistencies that it's ridiculous. And any situation like this, I try to put out all of the information and let people come to their own conclusion, but this one is kind of like, it's busted. How can you come back from all of that?
Yeah, not to mention that they said she hung herself with a trash
bag, right? And that's another thing I was gonna say, which I didn't finish. But if you go on YouTube and you type in, trash bag hanging or whatever, it's people that's trying to recreate what happened, and every time the bag breaks or comes loose, like, it's super, like, look, if you just use common sense, why would you hang yourself with the trash bag? Why not just put it over your head and smother yourself? Like, it doesn't make sense to go through all of the extra motions to get up on an elevated platform, tie it, then tie it around your neck and hang yourself. Why not just tie the bag around your head and smother yourself if you wanted to die? Like, it just don't make sense.
I believe they're trying to justify why she has marks on her neck from strangulation, is what is similar to what was have similar marks around her neck.
I think we're not thinking like an evil genius to a certain extent. Like, they're from our perspective, they're doing, it's a test, it's a mental exercise. They're going to say some stupid shit to see how you going to respond to it. And
that's why I was saying, I'm insulted.
If you don't do nothing, they're going to do something even more crazier to see how you respond to it, because they know a lot of people are saying, hey, this doesn't make sense. But then there's a few people who are saying, I don't know. And then you give them a little bit of evidence. There's so many people who mentally don't want to accept that their government has no interest in them, no care in them at all. And
it's called cognitive dissonance.
Absolutely. And so they won't accept. They'll watch these stories until it happens to them before they believe it. And so it just really brings to mind that this is a mental thing we're going through. And for me, one of the things I've kind of point I got to looking at this is understanding that one thing that we've always practiced as far as like ancient ways is that we are timeless people, and just having melanin and just being adaptive, we're going to get through this. And I know it may not seem like it, we may not know how, but it's going to happen because we are the most populous group, we're the most resilient group of beings on this planet. Again, it's more likely going to get worse However, we've been through worse. So it's just to keep in mind that there's ways, there's things we have to do now to prepare for later. Because if we get caught up in now and we lock on to it, like there's never going to be a day and age where we can get past this, it kind of takes away of all the millennial of our ancestors, what they've done before that we came to this day and age. And just to understand that, you said earlier, like this America will never have peace here. And I believe that, but when I say America, I'm thinking about the corporation. I feel like once it crumbles, peace can come. But as long as we have this corporation, this way of being and doing things, there won't be peace, because it's not designed for peace. It's designed off the foundation, which was slavery and killing people.
Right. And that's another thing, like, you know, if you see all of these groups, like non-melanated people protesting, they say, oh, we got to take America back. We want our old America. But it's like, where are you trying to go? Because, I mean, ever since you've been over here, you came in 1492, you was, you know, bringing smallpox, you was committing genocide amongst the Native Americans. Then after that, you brought, you know, several of us over here, and a lot of us were already here, but you enslaved those people. Then after that, it was, you know, segregation, Jim Crow, you know, lynching.
What you trying to get back to?
Right, so where are you trying to go? Like, you know, it was never a time where, you know, where you were here and it was peace. So, I mean, I'm not understanding what America are you trying to bring back?
Well, see, and to me, again, I say this, I put it like this. To me, my personal beliefs is for a Caucasian person to get beyond its nature is a blessing. It's great because, in my opinion, the nature is to be divisive. The nature is to be bloodthirsty to a certain extent. And I find that when they say, I want to go back to the old ways, they're saying it right in their face. We want what was going on. We want the slavery back. But they can't say it because you might react to it. You might get it. You might actually understand what they're really saying. But there's a huge population of Caucasians in this world who want things to go back how it used to be.
And not to cut you off, but just like super quick.
Sure.
I was somebody posted in an anonymous page. They posted how the protesters in Ferguson yesterday, they blocked traffic, and then you know
on the interstate five-way lane.
Right. Yeah, they blocked traffic, and so one of the comments was, I hate to say it, but we have to go back to hanging them again. It's the only way. And then I commented, and I said, go back to, you never stopped. Like, you just hung Sandra Bland. So, I mean, it's not like it ever stopped per se, but, you know, just think of how many thousands of people who think like him, like, oh, we got to put him back in chains. We got to, you know, start hanging them again. We got to start castrating them, right?
Give them a robe and some badges and the guns, and you'll have what we have today.
Right.
Yeah, period. I saw a real interesting clip, and this is gonna sound really crazy, but literally, like Charles Manson. Somebody posted a video of Charles Manson. He talking about. I only bring this up because we're talking about psychopathic thought frames that we're being subject to. And even him, he says that Africans are gods. He says you take Africans, you take Africans out of the jungle and make them man. Why didn't you leave them to be gods? Why make them man when they're gods? And he talked about how the system is set up so that we, as melanated people, mirror them while they are trying to mirror us, and they don't even know it. And a lot of times we don't even know it. And it's not that I'm not trying to make this like solely about race, but these things psychologically are there, and they're playing out in these in all of these different ways, from just not even being safe when you're pulled over, to thinking about thinking about what small thing might happen that would set an officer off. I can't even think about just getting my license and registration, proof of insurance or whatever. I had to think about kissing somebody's butt so that they don't shoot me. Like, that's psychological trauma. And so I get why a lot of people just decide to be ignorant, just decide to be, because literally, I mean, the stereotype, not the stereotype, what is the cliche? Ignorance is bliss, and to a certain extent, it is. And we have to realize that this knowledge, this information that's coming out, is the only thing that is what they fear, is what the powers that be, the bankers, the because it's not white people per se. There is an elite group of that happen to be white people that believe that they're superior and use their resources that they've accrued through tyranny and through practicing white supremacy to terrorize everyone else. And specifically, their target number one happens to be black people, and that is what it is. And so, with that being said, I'm gonna go out with one of the quotes. Good brother on the line, he said, "This is a state of emergency, and this is not a test." And we'll be right back after ReadYO Radio. These messages.